Welcome back, folks. It's your boy Omar GT coming at you with another video of 2014 video games top 10 that I've beaten. And remember, this is only games that I've beaten, not exactly played or that were released that year. Of course, they were released prior years because now they wouldn't exist. But anyways, I want to start you off with the honorable mentions. I'll try to keep it short this time, not try to make long videos. The first honorable mention on my list is Wipeout 2048. I'm not sure what number Wipeout this is, but this is one that came out on PS Vita. It had so many. I mean, it looked great. Considering the PS Vita is hardware-wise equal to a PlayStation 3, it was phenomenal. I love this game so much. Unfortunately, it didn't make my top 10, but if I had a top 20, it definitely would be on there. So this is a great game to play if you like arcade racers and futuristic and want to play something like this. I'm not sure. I don't think it has crossplay anymore with PS3, but it did at one time. But it's a great game. Try it out. My second honorable mention here is Battlefield 3 from EA, both on the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and PC. This is actually not the first Battlefield game I played, but the one I really got into. It was phenomenal. The campaign was great. Still short but sweet, but it was great the way they portrayed everything. Even the online multiplayer was a lot of fun as well. Um, One of Dice's best campaign shooters they've ever made. Fortunately, in my top 10, but still a great game to play if you want to try the Battlefield games. I would say start with this one if you can. The other ones are more of a World War, old era type battlefield, but this is more modern. All right, check it out. Coming in at number 10 is Saints Row the Third or Saints Row 3, how you want to call it. Very fun game. I mean, if you like Grand Theft Auto, you probably would love this. This is just more over the top, crazy, action-y packed game with a lot of fun flares that has all over the game. If you can't get into Grand Theft Auto because of its difficulty or seriousness, to try something like this, it's much more silly, and as far as the way it is, and some adult content as well, but not too severe adult content. But check it out. At number 9 is one of my other favorite open world games. I won't show you the trailer because the trailer doesn't really reflect what the gameplay is. So I'd rather show you gameplay instead. This is Dead Island 1 for the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and PC. It has some clunky gameplay to it, and I mean, but it's one of the first games where actually all your weapons pretty much wear and tear unless you repair them. I'm sure other games have done it before that, but this one's done it very well. I loved it itself, and it has four-player online co-op itself, up to four players. Sorry, they can drop in and out as needed. Very fun game. If you want to try it out, please do so. There's also Dying Light, which is much more modern, but if you want to go back to the roots, try this Dead Island game. At number 8 is an oldie but a goodie. This is Wild Arms for the PlayStation 1, which also you can now access on the PlayStation 4 as well. Download it itself or stream it. This is the first time playing that RPG that year and beating it, so I really liked it a lot. I won't say it's great, it's not up to the Final Fantasy standards, but it did have a good story, and the music was great too. That's the best part of the game, is probably the music. If you want to get to a basic, simple RPG or get into RPGs, this is a good start to try Wild Arms. Coming in at number 7 is Split Second. It is an arcade type racing game. This one, I mean, the trailer doesn't give it justice. This game is really great. It's very good. Um, it's got the trigger points, so when you go to the racetrack, you actually build up kind of meter, and you got different levels of meter, level 1, level 2, level 3. So the higher the meter, the more destruction you can cause in the environment. Not only by weapons, you just actually activate certain points in the environment to trigger either sign falling or a crane coming at you or an airplane coming down the racetrack, a bus explosion like you see there, a building even falling. And that's actually changes the racetrack as well to create different routes for the second or third lap. So really fun game. Like I say, I'm not sure if it's still available to purchase on the Xbox 360 or PlayStation 3, but if you can't get a hold of this, please do so. It is a very fun game. I wish they would remaster it or make a sequel to it. But I guess that license is very difficult to get hold of because Disney is involved. But want a different type of racer aside from EA or Burnout, Need for Speed, try this as well. At number 6 is Killzone 3 for the PlayStation 3. This game also had a pretty good single player campaign, just like number two. But I gotta say, the multiplayer was actually better in this one. I know your character still felt kind of heavy and sluggish at times, especially the heavy weapons. But I mean, aside from that, it was very good. I mean, it's a good ending to the Killzone franchise at that point. Very good trilogy. The first one quite forgettable, but the second and third are great. If you want to try a shooter that's exclusive to the PlayStation 3, I recommend picking this one up after you play Part 2 though first. Killzone 3. At number 5, kind of halfway there, looking at Dantes Inferno. This came out for the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. If you like the original God of War games on the PlayStation 2 and 3, God of War 1, 2, and 3 gameplay, then you will definitely love this. This is more of a religious type atmosphere and storytelling. If you know the story about Dante himself and the seven stages of hell. But if you want to learn it or want to get into it or like that kind of gameplay in God of War, do try this. It's very fun, very action packed itself. You can also switch between weapons to variate your combination itself. It does have quite a bit of gratuity and gore and a lot of blood because actually you're in hell itself, fighting all these demons and abominations themselves. But if you want something almost exactly a God of War, do try this out. This is a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I wish they had made a sequel, but the story kind of didn't make sense to do so. But try it out if you can. And number 4 is one of my favorite tower defense games, which you can access almost anywhere on any mobile device, including mobile. And I played on the Vita, but also you can play on mobile phones or tablets or PlayStation consoles, Xbox consoles, even sure as Nintendo Switch. If you want to get into tower defense, don't know where to start because a lot of them are pretty difficult and hard. This is a good start. A lot of fun, the humor, and I especially love the ending. The ending, the song credits was so much great. Try it out if you can. At number 3, and we're almost there, folks, is Portal 2. This is one of the most unique puzzle games out there that I played. I mean, obviously I started with one, now I'm with number two, and number two just enhanced it a lot more as far as the puzzle elements and what it can do. I'm only going to show you this one partial stage because it would ruin the game if I showed you too much of it. Because the puzzles are, you really got to solve them yourself. I, mean, I can do an online tutorial, but they're more fun if you solve them yourself. And the point is just to get from the one entrance to get out to the exit to some other part of the room where the exit is, and it's very difficult at some points. I think I had to look up a guide for 2 puzzles. I just couldn't figure it out too well, or I got stuck. But if you want a puzzle game that's in first-person view, this is the best you can do. But obviously, I would say play number 1 first if you're playing part 2. Don't forget, the cake is a lie. At my number 2, and I'm sure most of you probably had this in number 1 anyways, but something else beat this, and for your show, see in a minute. This is Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. Came out for the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, PC, and now eventually it came out to the current consoles as well as a remastered edition. If you want open world fantasy type game and first person view, yeah, I think it's switched third person as well if I recall, but first person view mostly. And I mean, you can go almost anywhere in this game and be very adventurous, and even kill NPCs so that will destroy your quest line. So you gotta be careful who you kill, what you do, because it'll block off certain quests in the game in maybe small certain areas, but not so much. Uh, I beat the game, but I couldn't do everything. There was just so much to do. It would take up too much of my time. My backlog would be horrendous if I had done every single quest in this game or replayed it over and over. I went and played it once from beginning to end with one DLC. I forgot the name of the DLC. But if you want to try that, please do so. You don't have to play the other Elder Scrolls. You can start with this one or start with Oblivion. But I would say recommend Skyrim. It's just the best that they've made so far. At my number 1 is Kingdoms Amalur Reckoning. This one I had seen nothing about before I played it, and when I did, I was infatuated by it. It's also a swords and sorcery type game, but what makes it so cool, even though the graphics aren't great as Skyrim as you can see previously, but the thing is, what makes this game so great is the gameplay. You can switch weapons, and each weapon has a very different style to have a gameplay, and you have a little bit of magic as well, but it's mainly the weapons that make it so great. It does have a story. I think pick 3 different types of races. It doesn't tell you too much as far as the Rest of the game mostly just the prologue, and I think the ending possibly. I've only played it twice, I believe, when it first came out, and I loved it. I loved it from the beginning to end. Unfortunately, we may not ever see a sequel to it, but if you want a full gameplay type, medieval type game with swords, and sorcery, um, this is your game to play because it was a lot of fun to play. And that's all, folks. I thank you all for watching. Please wait for my next video. Sorry it took so long for this one, but hopefully soon you see another one.